Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, February 28th. Thanks so much for being here today for some more everyday thoughts. I want to continue what we began exploring yesterday about peer pressure. And as I alluded to yesterday, peer pressure is not certainly something that is unique to teenagers. Advertising takes great advantage of the concept of peer pressure and the fact that we are open to being moved and persuaded, easily moved and persuaded sometimes. But why are we open to peer pressure? Why is that? Why are we so influenced? Well, here's the crucial thing. If we want to understand humans from an anthropological standpoint, if we want to understand anthropology in terms of how it works in humans, God designed us to follow. Now, before we decided to go our own way and have our own ideas and embrace sin and my way over God's way, that was perfect because we were only influenced by God or by people who were also influenced by God. So the peer pressure thing worked because we were designed that way. And that type of peer pressure is beautiful and powerful and keeps us from a mess. But when we got this idea that we have a better way than God, when we contemplate the things that we desire and we don't think so much about God, we just think God is trying to keep us from something, trying to rob us of something, that's where we get in trouble and fall into peer pressure. See, that's where we become like that young man in Proverbs 5 that we mentioned yesterday. He's crying, pleading. Why did I hate discipline? Why did I turn from my teachers? Why did I turn from those people who only wanted to help me? And now I have gone my own way, and I've become a public mess, a public disgrace, because I followed the way of others rather than the way of God. See, peer pressure rolls right into that because it takes advantage of what we're already made. That's why you have to be extremely careful, extremely just on your guard about who do you follow. See, it's not a question of whether you'll follow, it's who do you follow. Even the leaders among us, they follow someone or something. Somebody's always following something. So don't think that we're independent in that sense. That's a myth. You may be different than other people and you may stand strong, but you're still open to being pushed and pressured by others. So you see, that's where peer pressure is coming from. That's why it's effective, because it takes advantage of the good thing that God made that we have diluted and messed up and perverted so that we think that we can follow ourselves or that we know who the right people are to follow. And that leads us to this young man where you can just sense the heavy brokenness that he has. I've come to a mess. My life is over. I'm a disgrace because I didn't listen. Well, he didn't listen to the right people. He listened to the wrong people. That's why peer pressure is so toxic. That's why peer pressure leads into areas where we shouldn't go, but we kind of follow a herd. I've got a really good friend who is urging me and encouraging me to explore some of these issues. And she's really insightful. And I really appreciate her vision for this. But she used the word flock. We are flocking people. We flock with others. We're like the geese. We follow the lead geese. That's what we do. Well, we'll follow the flock right into all kinds of messes. That's why we get involved with weed. Our kids are encouraged to do weed by other kids, by the example, by feeling pressure. So we're going to do weed to relieve the pressure. The way we relieve the pressure is to be able to trust God and follow His ways. But no, we have this brilliant idea we're going to do weed and that's going to help. And what that leads to is not the peace, love, and happiness that people want us to think. It leads us to this young man in Proverbs 5. Why didn't I listen? Now I'm a mess. Peer pressure. Let's be moved by the things from God and God's people. Let's not turn away and trust ourselves. it will lead us in a direction that is not going to be good. How is this going to help me 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, instead of just helping me get over it at the moment? That's why peer pressure is so toxic, and why we need to be influenced by things that are going to lead us to peace, where we can be secure about what's happening, and we don't have to be like this young man. Think about that today. Thanks so much for being here today on this edition of Everyday Thoughts. Send me thoughts, comments. We'll have one more on peer pressure tomorrow, wrap it up. But you have a great day. The Lord bless, and thanks again for being here. Bye-bye.